Hello everyone, welcome to Java session. Today's topic is files and streams. In today's session, we will discuss about input and output, file class, byte streams, filter streams. Input and output. Like other packages, Java is also having IO package which provides an extensive library of classes which deals with input and output. So what does it mean by input and output? Which is nothing but we can read the data from a specific file, and also we can write the data into files. So Java provides streams as general mechanism for dealing with these kind of data IO operations. Streams implement a sequential access of data. Like if you want to read any data or write the data into any files, you can use the sequential process using the streams. So we have byte streams and character streams of there are these two are two different kinds of streams. So an input stream is an object that an application can be used to read sequential data, and also output stream is an object which can be used to write a sequence of data. So there are various entities which can be act as both input and output streams, like an array of bytes or characters, a file, a pipe, a network connection. Next one is file class. The file class provides a general machine independent interface for the file system of underlying platform. So if we have any some test.txt file, okay, so this we can represent in the form of Java like a file object. Okay, file f is equals to new file of test.txt file. So a file object represents the path name of the file or directory of the host file system. So file has various constructors for associating a file or directory path name to an object of the file class. So creating a file object doesn't mean creation of any file or directory based on the path name specified. So when we represent, like if we have one test.txt file in C drive, okay, so you can give the file path in file object. So using that, it doesn't mean that it will create a new file. Okay, so creating a file object doesn't mean creation of any file or directory based on the path name specified. So a file instance called the abstract path name is a representation of path name of file and directory. So the path name cannot be changed on the file object is created. So file here, file string path name. So and we have so file string path name, and there are different various constants available in file class, which is public static final char separator char. So this will tell you like this will give you separation character in the file path name. So and also separator, this is character and this is a string representation, string data type. And also we have a path separator char and path separator. Okay, and so and also we can give a file string, directory path name, and a string file name. So this creates a file object whose path name is as follows, like directory path name plus separator and file name. So in the same way we have a directory file name. So we can have an object within a directory. So if the directory argument is null, the resulting file object represents a file in the current directory. So file parent equals to null, file chapter 31, new file parent 31, chapter 13. So what will happen in the parent directory, we will have the chapter 13 file. In the same way, draft chapters. So see here, file dot separator. This file dot separator is like this separator char. Okay, so under draft folder we'll have the chapters folder. Under chapters folder we'll have the chapter 13. Okay, next. So the file class provides a number of methods for obtaining the platform dependent representation of path name and its components. So there are various methods we have in the file class like get name, which returns the name of the file entry. So if you have test.txt, okay, so file f is equals to new file of test.txt, and if you print f.getName, then it will give you the test.txt. Okay, and also get path, so which returns the absolute or relative path name of the file represented by the file object. And also we have one more method called get absolute path. So what it does, if the file object represents an absolute path name, then the path name will be written. Otherwise, the written path name is constructed by concatenating the current directory path name. So, and the separator character and path name of the file object. And also we have get parent. The parent part of the path name of the file object is returned if one exists. Otherwise, null value will be returned. So file or directory existence. So a file object is created using the path name. Whether this path name denotes an entry active exists in the file system can be checked using the exist method. So if we have file f is equals to new file test.txt, and if that file, we can check whether this file is exist or not before we processing that file. So what we can do, we can use a method called exists. So using this method we can check whether a particular file exists or not, and also we can find out whether a particular file object, whether it is a file or directory. So there are various methods called isFile and isDirectory. So using these two methods we can check whether a particular file object is file or directory. And also we can set permissions to a specific file, like there are set readable true, so this will make a file object as readable. And you can also make owner and writable boolean owner, so for owner, executable, and owner. Okay, like this we have six various methods um, to set the permissions for a file. Okay, and also we can check whether we can write into a file, or we can read a file, or we can execute. So we can check the permissions of a file using these three methods: get can write, can read, can execute. And also listing directory entities. So suppose if a particular file object is directory and we wanted to see the list of the files, then we can use string array of list. Okay, and filter, you can also pass the file name filter, list files, file objects also we can get, and file name filter. So using this we can list out the entries in the directory, and you can create a new file. So that file object, it will specify that object in that particular path name, right? And if you want to create any directory, then you can use uh, mk directory, boolean mk directory, and the files can be used to create files and directories. A file can be created whose path name is specified in a file object using the following method: create new file. So to create a new files, what we have to do is file f is equals to new file, then f dot create new file. Okay, in the same way, make directory, make directories. Okay, renaming files and directories. So if you want to change the name of the file, then we have a method called rename to, and you can specify the new name. And we can also delete the files or directories using delete method. So before getting to the byte streams, we will see an example on file class and its methods. Okay, see here I have created one class called a directory lister. In this we have one main method and list directory methods. Okay, so what it does, here if arguments dot length equals to 0, system out error println please specify a directory name. Okay, so what we are doing is we are passing directory name as part of running this java application, so as part of one arguments. So if we don't pass any directory name, then we'll get this error, or else it will use the first argument and it passes to the list directory. So what exactly list directory does? So See, we already discussed exist, so it will check whether a particular file exists or not. So if it is not exist, what it does, it will throw that a file not found. Okay, if it is a file, is file, then it will give the, it prints the path name of entry. If it is directory and we have list of uh, file names, okay, and just get the name and again pass, so it will reiterate that directory and prints the list of the files. Okay, so now what we will do, we will not pass an argument, then we'll see what kind of output we'll get. So if I do run as Java application, see, I don't have any arguments. So that's why what I'm getting, if argument dot length is equals to 0, then system dot error dot println, please specify a directory name. So what we can do here, run as, run configuration, directory lister, right? Arguments. Here in arguments we can specify. So what I did is I have created a folder called C test. Okay, in this I have two files, document.docs and test1.txt. So I'll give the path name here, c.txt, txt, apply, run. See here, C test document.docs and test1.txt. And if we create any folder, okay, new folder, sample, and here sample txt, sample1.txt. So what we'll do, again we'll run this one, run as, run configuration, direct list, okay, run. So document sample1 under test sample1. So it will go into the other folder, sample folder, and read the sample1.txt file. Suppose if we change from test to sample, okay, here whether we don't have sample folder under C drive, so what we will get here is sample not found. So like this we can use file methods to process the file objects, okay, like whether it exists or not, is it a file or is it a directory, and list of the file names and their path. So like this we can use file operations to read or write the files, I mean like to list out, to read the directory and to process those files. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. Next one is byte streams. So the abstract classes input stream and output stream are the root of the inheritance hierarchy of handling reading and writing of bytes. So they subclasses implementing different kinds of input and output streams. So these override the following methods from the input and output stream classes to customize the reading and writing of bytes respectively. So input stream class has read method which throws IO exception, and also read with byte array argument, and also byte array parameters or integer offset and integer length. So these three methods we have in input stream class. Okay, in the same way in output stream we have write byte array and offset length, and we have close, flush. So these are the various methods that can be used to read and write the content into files. So if you look at here, we have interface called data input. uh, Data input stream class is implementing this data input interface, and this object input interface is extending the data input. And in input stream we have three different input streams like object input stream, filter input stream, file input stream, and buffered input stream is extending the file input stream class. So in the same way output is also we have like object output and output stream. So output stream is again object output stream, filter output stream, file output stream. So like this inheritance hierarchy. So this file input stream, this is data is read as bytes from a file. This what it does. File input stream, it reads as a bytes from a file. So the file acting as input stream can be specified by a file object. So file descriptor or a string file name, and a filter input stream, which is a superclass of all input stream filters, and an input filter must be chained to an underlying input stream. And data input stream. So a filter that allows the binary representation of Java primitive values to be read from an underlying input stream. And object input stream, so which allows the binary representation of Java objects and primitive values to be read from a specified input stream. In the same way, we have output stream, so data will be written as a bytes into the file using the file output stream. And filter output stream is again superclass of all output stream files, okay, filters. And also data output stream, a filter that can be allows binary representation of Java primitive values to be written underlying output stream. So file streams. So there are file input stream, string name throws, file not found exception. So here the classes file input stream and file output stream define byte input and output streams that are connected to a files. So any thing to connect it to, I mean, like if you want to read a file contents, then you have to use file input stream and by passing the file object or name of the input stream. So if file is not found, then we'll get the file not found exception. And in the same way, if you want to write the contents to the file, then we have to use file output stream and name and append. So if you want to append any content to a existing file, then you can use the file output stream. And filter streams. So a filter is a high level stream that provides an additional functionality to an underlying stream to which it is chained. So the data from underlying stream is manipulated in some way by the filter. So filter input stream and filter output stream classes together with their subclasses can define input and output filter streams. And the same way, we have a buffered input stream and buffered output stream that can be, it filters the buffer input from and output to underlying stream respectively. In the same way, data input stream and output stream filters allow binary representation of Java primitive values to be read and written respectively. So reading and writing binary values, so we can use read boolean, read char. So every data type we have these methods in data input and output interface. So read boolean char, byte short in write boolean. So before we end this session, I would like to give one more example, okay, to copy the file from within the same folder, or we can move file from one folder to another folder. So let me give an example on that here. So this is a class we have created called copy file, and it has main method. Here we have a file input stream and file output stream. So as we already discussed that this input stream is used to read the contents from the file, and output stream is used to write the contents into a file. Okay, so from file, so what we are doing is we are passing file object as part of file path as part of argument. So argument of 0 and to file, so from which file to and to file, okay. And while true, so what we are doing is first we are reading the contents from the file dot read method, and if it is end of the file, break it, otherwise to file dot write I. So what it does, it reads sequentially. So contents, it reads contents from one file and put it into another file, okay. That and finally what we are doing is we are closing the file connection, file objects, we are closing the file objects, okay. So file input stream objects. So what we'll do, we will see here in test folder we have, this is a test text file, okay. This is a test text file. So in sample we don't have any content. So what we will do here, run as run configuration in copy file, copy file, and we need to pass two arguments, right? First file name c sample, sorry, c test, test1.txt, c test sample, sample1.txt, right? Run. So it has been executed, it has been terminated. We will see the content. See here, sample1.txt. Earlier it was not there. This is a test text file. So what happened? It read the contents from test1.txt file and copied into sample1.txt file. Like this, we can copy the contents from one file to another file using these input streams: file input stream and file output stream. So if you have any queries on today's session, please mail us at info@bicourses.com. We are happy to answer your queries and questions. Thank you so much.